Today we're going to cover how you win a race weekend. Race drivers, this is Enzo. It's the morning after the weekend that was. We just had one of our most successful weekends, race weekends. I mean, I've had some blinders over the years, but this one was one to remember as well. Liam Lawson had his F1 debut. He did FP1, obviously, with AlphaTauri, and it went really well. He couldn't do a fast lap on soft tyres with lower fuel because basically he had Albon in the way and then it rained, so he didn't have a chance. So he had to do hard tires, heavy fuel and all that, so he didn't really get to showcase. But he would have went halfway up the grid. I tell you, he was on for a good lap, so he was a bit peed about that, but he made up for it by, in the F2 race, he won on Saturday and came third. So we got a double podium over the race weekend, which is brilliant. Helped his championship a lot because he's had so much bad luck, which is what we're going to get into actually in this video a little bit. And then Bearman also pretty much did exactly the same. He won on Saturday and got third on Sunday. So both of them podium, double podium, which is great. So it's one to remember on the F1 side and F2 and F3. All the major championships that were there, the drivers did bloody good. So congratulations to them and everyone involved, mum, dad, sponsors, teams, everybody. We couldn't do it without you. So yeah, it was great. And you can always tell when we've had a good race weekend, because as I opened my bag today, when we arrived, it stunk of champagne. And that's because I got the job of washing Liam's race suits ready for next weekend because our bags were full. I said, don't worry, I'll take it home. I'll wash the race suits ready for Zandvoort this weekend. So yeah, I don't mind the smell. They're still here, actually. They're still zinging. They're very smelly, but it's champagne. It's the smell of sweet success and a bit of sweat as well, which isn't nice, but they'll be washed soon. But yeah, so it got me thinking. It got me thinking that to win a race weekend, and I've had this philosophy for like over 10 years now, I've always put things in boxes, which I've shared on this show. And it's differentiate and compartmentalizing the areas that you need to perform in or have a bit of luck in order to get a good result. And you've heard me say it to death about it's the mental side, it's the driving, it's the car, it's the team, it's also things that are out of your control. All these things have to align and perform well in and give you what you want in order for you to get a result. But to make it even more simple for you and to just show how difficult it is to get a good race weekend, even though you're quick, I'm going to use these Harry Potter cards. I've got playing cards, Harry Potter ones. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 6 cards because there's 3 areas that I want to explain. And I'm going to flip them. It's going to be aces and twos, which I'll show you in a minute. But really, the 3 areas I want to talk about. I've got a piece of paper here. If you can see this on YouTube, it's brilliant. If you can't and you're listening on the podcast, this might be a bit difficult, but just try and follow. So the 3 areas that you must get results in or perform well in are, first of all, is my performance, which is your performance. This is the first area that I really want you to focus on. And it's the area that you can influence the most. My performance means, how am I performing mentally? Can I drive at my best when it matters, on demand, in qualifying, in the race, at the start, all these things? Am I at my best, right? That's part of it. Also, it's your actual driving. How well am I driving this car, this track, this weekend? That's all about your performance. You're driving in the car, how you are out of the car, everything. You. First area is my performance. The second area is my car / my team performance. This is the motor part in motorsport. How well is the car set up? How quick is the engine? How good is the chassis? Is it in good condition, the actual car itself? How's the team performing? How are the pit stops? Is the mechanic doing what you want, or mechanics? Is the engineer performing and doing what you want on the car? So that's really down to the car and the team. And it is influenced by you, but slightly less than your performance. Right, the third area is external influences, things that are kind of nearly out of your control, but they still need to go well in order for you to get a result. So that can be, I got traffic in qualifying, or I didn't. Somebody crashed into me on the first lap. The car just broke down. Mechanical fault, no one's problem. Red flag in qualifying, all these things can get in your way. You know, I missed my plane, and or it wasn't my fault, the actual plane broke down, whatever. Stuff that gets in the way, you can't really influence that well or that much, but it can still influence the result massively. Now, these three areas, you need to pretty much score high in or do well in order to get a good result. So you have to perform well, my performance. The car has to be good, set up well, and the team have to be switched on to get a good result. And things have to go your way, which is the third area, in order for you to get a result. Now, to make them three areas all perform as you want in one weekend is more difficult than you think. I've worked with drivers, some of the fastest drivers, I'd love to say in the world, but let's just say in Europe. I've worked with some of these guys, and they have had seasons where they just can't get it right, all three. If they're performing well and they're on fire, something wrong with the car. The team are not performing. We put them in the wrong team and they're not doing very well that year. Or they just keep getting bad luck, keep breaking down. The engine they've got, back into the secondary now, is not performing and we can't change it. Or then when other things are doing well, they're just not on it that day. And they get a chance and they're not on it. So it's just so difficult to get all of these three areas to do what you want. And with these cards, it's a chance thing, right? I'm going to say it's more of a chance thing than you think. With these cards, I'm going to do, it's pretty much hit and miss. So just if you're listening to this on the podcast, imagine I've got these three areas, which is my performance, the car and team performance, and outside influences. And I'm going to flip a card, which is pretty much pass or fail, succeed or fail in each area. And it's randomly picked. And I'm going to do this to see how long it takes to get success, success, success in all three areas. So I've got these 6 cards here. 3 of them are aces and 3 of them are 2s. Now, if I flip an ace when I go underneath my performance, if that means your performance is good, then I'll go to the second box, which is going to be my car and my team performance. If I flip an ace there, that means the car and the team did really good this weekend or in this race. And then if I all of a sudden I flip a 2, this is by, they're going to be the opposite way, so I don't know what I'm flipping, and I put it under outside influences, that means you performed well, the car performed well, but somebody took you out or you broke down. So what we really want is 3 aces in all areas. And I'm just going to flip these 6 cards until I get 3 aces. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so we got the cards. Let's have a look now. So these are the ones, just 3 aces, 3 2s. Give them a quick shuffle. And let's just flip them and see what we get. Remember, ace is a pass. I'm good in that area. 2 is a fail. I'm no good. I underperformed. So 2, already your performance was down. Maybe your driving was toffee and the car's no good. But hey, nothing bad happened. So we're all right. So that's what we pulled this time. Not good enough for a win, or not good to be up the front. So let's go again. Quick shuffle. Not that it matters really. Really good performance. Really good car. Something happens. What? We got a fail in external influences. That means something, someone took you out or you got held up in qualifying. Right, now I'm going to speed this up. So go through. You can see me pulling all these. 2, 2. None of them am I getting ace, ace, ace. Oh, how long? Hang on. No, same again. 2 aces. But again, something happened out of my control that lost me at the front. Speeding it up, you can see how many times I'm having to do this in order to get 3 flaming aces. Here we go. 1, 2. We just need to get this last one. And there it is. Right. Little do you know, well, you probably did if you counted, that just took over 5 minutes for me to flip out of 6 cards, 50% of them are aces, for me to flip 3 aces. And it was like 26, I think, 26 attempts. Now that can be somebody's reality. They can go through 26 events thinking they're doing the right thing. They might be hitting an ace. They might be doing really well on their performance each time, but they just can't get the car or the team to do what they should do and how they want it, or they can't get any luck, can't get a break. The engine keeps blowing up and traffic, or you name it, things get in the way. So the first thing you must, and this is not kind of even exaggerating. This is what it can be like. That's why it's so important that you approach your sport in a very intense and obsessive way. And you've got to be patient, because sometimes, like you saw on there, I did at least twice, I got an ace in my performance as a driver. Everything's perfect. I'm ready and I'm on fire. I got an ace in the car. The car's ready. It's perfect again. It's fast. It's set up well, and the team are doing a good job. But something happened in outside external influences. Something outside of my control happened that forced me to not get a very good qualifying position, or to get crashed into, or you know, just didn't finish a DNF'd. That's how hard it is. So you do need patience. You need to really have the kind of long-term luck that I am doing the right thing, and eventually life will give me some love and I'll get the result I deserve. But as on a practical side, I always want to give some practical advice, right? But this is how I approach driving, coaching. It's like, right, I've always got to put things in boxes. And this is a very brief way of doing it. I've got more boxes than 3 when I'm working with a driver. But my performance being the physical, you know, fitness as well, mental, and the driving, how can I improve that area? Because I've got the most control over that area. How can I improve it before the race weekend? And how can I use it after? So it is a before and after thing. You use it to help you prep. So you're on that sim, getting the driving down, learning the track. You're doing all you can in the gym to make sure you're fit enough if the car requires you to be fit. Some cars more than others, obviously. Is my mind good? Did I handle pressure last weekend? If not, how can I improve that? I'm going to start to do some self-development. And that is the build up to the race. So you're fully knowledgeable of the track and everything you need to do driving wise, and you've got it down. You've done as much prep as you can. You're ready. And you've learned from the weekends before to help that. Then the second one is obviously the car and the team. If the team are not performing, how can I lead them better? It's a bit of my performance, I know, but I need to get more out of this team. I need to communicate they're not doing well enough, but I need to help them, motivate them, maybe get them on my side. How can we make this car better? Maybe the engine's down, chassis again, and all that, you know, everything. Excuse me, video's still playing. So you've really got to attack them 2 areas the most. I think you've got the most influence over your performance. You've got secondary influence over the team and the car. And then the external influences, things that happen kind of out of your control, you can only mildly influence them. So if at a race weekend, it looks like the kind of track where everybody parks up and queues up at the end of a lap to get a clear space, because they either want tow, actually, not clear space, or they do not want tow. They don't want to be held up. Then there could be like a parking lot when you come to the last corner. Everyone's waiting. Like Monza's like this. You see people playing funny games, right? That is external, but how can I prepare for that? Or if it's something like in a racecraft incident, you seem to have had 4 accidents in the last 5 races. I'm going to start to think now, maybe it's something I'm doing. Maybe I'm positioning myself in a way that's in their blind spot. So they're accidentally hitting me. You know, how are they supposed to know where I am? So you're trying to really take control of something you're not in control of. Is there any way I can be accountable for these things that are happening? And you look at the race weekend, come in and say, okay, what are the hazards, the things that do happen out of control? Is there any way I can get help on the radio to get space on the track, or I can look at a certain point to see if I've got enough gap track positioning to do qualifying or anything like this. So you take these 3 areas and you hold yourself accountable for all 3. That's in the brief prep before the race weekend and the debrief after the race weekend. You look at how you did. So there's 2 major things here, and this is all about how you approach it. The first major thing I said is to be patient. Be patient, because you can be doing all the right things. You just got to keep doing it. Don't lose hope, because, you know, it's like life itself, right? You know you're doing the right thing. And all it takes is for you to experiment a little bit, just tiny little shifts in the way you approach your day. You know, it could be you could be in a normal job and listen to this, or a different sport. It's like, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing because I know it's the right way, and maybe just tiny adjustments. And then eventually things will fall your way. You just got to have the patience. And it could take years, honestly. In all different walks of life, this is a true fact. And then on the other side, it's how can I use these three boxes, these three areas to help me prep and debrief better, so I actually become better and I take more control of all these things. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you start to win at race weekends. That's what we did with these drivers, and these drivers do with their teams and their F1 junior programs. It's all based around that. It's helping them excel in the different areas and kind of put fires out before they happen. So that's how you win a race weekend. It might take time. It might just happen straight away next weekend. You just prep a little bit more and bang, you're there. You're in the top 5. And obviously there's more gray areas of this. It's not just success and fail. You could be 9 or 8 out of 10 in my performance, 6 out of 10 if there was a rating, 6 out of 10 in the car performance, and you had some good luck. It was 10 out of 10, no problem. You can still win on that if it's better scores than everyone else that's on the grid. So, but really, we want to excel in the first 2 and then do what we can to prepare for outside influences. And that is how you win race weekends.